Yo, you don't know it's your sweetheart Ray, and you're locked into Bakanal TV. Bakanal TV, let me tell them, is this a judgment free zone? Let them know. You don't know it's your sweetheart Ray, bigging up Trinidad and Tobago.
Umetembea yatsa. Gade, gade.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to From Bakanal to the Ballot Box. We are focusing on getting out the vote in the Caribbean community. There is a notion, right, wrong or right, that Caribbean folks don't get involved. And we are trying to, break that trend because these elections in recent times have become more and more razor-thin margins decided by less than a few hundred votes or less than a few thousand, as it were. So we're going to do our part to try to turn out our base to get the right people in office to represent us, A, and B, one of the side effects of not participating is when we go to the city, we want to have our festivals and different engagements, they don't listen. They don't want to get involved. You people don't vote. You don't make a difference to me. So why should I give you free police? Why should I give you free permits for the park? There's a whole domino effect of not being involved. And so Bakanal TV, we're going to try to do our part with our little tiny platform here to try to get out the vote. And so From Bakanal to the Ballot Box is our initiative, and not wanting to reinvent the wheel. We hitched our little trailer to the Institute for Caribbean Studies and their Soca the Vote initiative, led by Dr. Nelson, and she graciously accepted our offer to come on board and help in terms of the media aspect. The Institute for Caribbean Studies has a very large Facebook footprint, but we know not everybody's on Facebook, especially the younger generation. They have gravitated more towards Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and all those other platforms. So we are just trying to fill the space, all the little spaces in our delivery to make sure we get the message out to vote to those who are of voting age and make sure that they exercise their national right, maybe even God-given right. But thank you, Dr. Nelson, for having us. And we are now live here on Zoom. We are also live on Bakanal TV. We are also live on YouTube and on Facebook. So with that, I'm going to invite Dr. Nelson to say a few words. And then we have some questions that for our panelists that we will jump into. Dr. Nelson?
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Good evening. Coming to you live direct from New York City, where I am attending the UN Summit of the Future. As we address some of the critical challenges facing our global human family. And so I'm delighted to say that for the time being, it seems like we probably are going to make it as a species. We certainly hope we can make it as a species. And of course, so much of a keystone country, we have to first make it in America if the world is going to make it. And so we really, Soca the Vote, which is, the brand Soca the Vote came out in 2004. It stands for Support Our Caribbean Advancement. It was a tongue-in-cheek kind of a name that myself and Dawn Stewart, who was the founder of the Caribbean People's International Collective, came up with, not just voter empowerment drive. We want to make it more, make it today. It's an occasional initiative we do around every election season. Voter education and voter empowerment, supporting organizations to sort of get on board and understand our responsibilities as Americans, and understand the reason why we ought to vote. And beyond the voting season, we sometimes take on work around gender issues. And so we have been active in the past in the Maryland area around issues of redistricting. And we're just trying to educate people about the whole political/policy process. We're a 501c3, so we tend not to endorse candidates. Indeed, we cannot because of our 501c3 status endorse candidates. And most of the organizations that we partner with, in fact, I would say 99.99% of them are also 501c3. So our vote, so-called the vote, is not about discussing, a particular person or another, a candidate or another, a particular party or another, which are, to not contravene the state laws as a 501c3. But we do feel it's important about the policy issue. A major push with our partners around the country, with several organizations and leaders that are partners, that are part of our Cabinet American Heritage Month movement. And this year, I guess, building on what we've been going through since COVID, we decided to stay together and not just meet seasonally, for each month. And so every Wednesday we've been meeting almost since January. We started meeting to talk about first income, but we try to stay together because the work we do as volunteer community leaders is very challenging, very hard. It's nice to have company on the phone sometimes to talk about our issues. So gonna vote. We did this survey, and all our partners push it out from Philadelphia, Massachusetts, Georgia, Florida. We had a really great turnout. I want to again shout out to all our partners. You know who we are. Some of you are on the call. 400, or is it 50 something? 451, I think. Responses, which was unprecedented because Caribbean would want to answer anything. I have to say that I do think the results were biased towards people who already tend to want to be involved, because we got very significant of people saying health care, civil rights, and conversation really is about civil rights, because people did bring it up as being one of the top issues. And certainly our concern is that the current temperature respect to people of Haitian heritage and the rhetoric is just not, signals a very disturbing possible turn. Again, this is not the first time in terms of poking the bogeyman as an immigrant in general and the bogeyman as Haitians in particular. And we thought it was useful to hear from members of the Haitian community from your own words, so we can say we definitely heard that. And for our supporters and listeners, members of the other organizations from Philadelphia, Georgia, and Florida who are part of this call, to hear directly what are some of the Haitian American community leaders thinking about doing to sort of tamp down the very negative and ugly racist comments that have kind of just reared up all over again. Or is it just people blowing smoke? We really want to hear from Haitian American voices in our community. What are their thoughts, their feelings? We like to say, if you come for one, eventually you come for the other. So we cannot just assume, okay, it's a Haitian thing, the rest of us have nothing to do with it. So I want to welcome those of you who are on this call, who are Haitian community leaders. Thank you for taking the time on a very restful Sunday to come on, as you say in Jamaica, hot up your nerves with this issue. But we as Caribbean people understand what each other are able to speak at. What is the Haitian community doing? We don't want to be left blubber like a duh. We don't know. We do want to be able to say something about the matter. So I know we have some experts, we have some activists, we have some advocates, we have some expert journalists on the call. So Craig, I try to defer to you to bring them up so we can get started.
Wonderful, thank you. So, first, a little bit of ground rules. Let's make sure we only have about an hour. So, let's try to keep our responses curt and be considerate of the other panelists. We will try to keep our responses to maybe 2 minutes and then yield the floor to other panelists who will answer the same question or give feedback to your response or other responses. Okay, so one of our first confirmed panelists was Ariel. Ariel, welcome to the chat. One of the first questions that I want to put out there, the debate was 2.5 weeks ago. When those words came out of President Trump's mouth about Haitians eating this and that, I'm not going to repeat it. What was your initial reaction to that statement, Ariel? Okay, Ariel's getting sorted out. Let me go to Gemma. Gemma's on the call. Gemma, unmute and go for it.
Yes, God bless. Good evening, everyone. I mean, you say 2 minutes. Obviously, we could talk longer, but just to, for getting to the point, circumstances. What he said obviously is totally incorrect. One thing we need to realize is that there's a difference between giving an opinion, giving a perspective, and truly knowing facts. So that is not a fact. Obviously, that was his opinion. And, we have freedom of speech. That's what people fought for. So he has the right to his freedom of speech. But do not, make a statement like that as if it is truth. Because it's not truth. And as a Haitian American, my parents were born and raised in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, came to the United States in the 30s and 40s to have a better life, to provide for their family. I'm a family of 7, so I can definitely tell you, and by the way, I am a dog mom, so I will leave it by saying it is totally, totally false.
Wonderful. Pardon me, but we need to sort of all know who each other is. So, Gemma, you just spoke. Can you give like a 30-second intro of who you are in the Haitian space?
Sure. So, like I said, born and raised in New York. My mom and dad are both born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. As far as my involvement in the Haitian space, going to school here in South Florida, I was part of the Haitian community initiative in my college, and obviously dealing with many different organizations and fête, as we like to call it, which is basically different events that Haitian community or Haitian organizations will put together. I will be a part of that and help basically spread the word, encourage people to attend Haitian theme events, especially Haitian Flag Day, which I've been a part of for the past 4 years, especially in the Point St. Lucie area, because there is a big Haitian community in Point St. Lucie, and I do have family and friends in that area. So that is my involvement in the Haitian space.
Wonderful. Okay, Ariel, did you get sorted? Not yet. Okay, so for other panelists who want to go next or want to respond, you can let us know by raising your hand. There's a button on your screen. If you're using your phone, touch the phone, touch the screen, and there's a raise hand icon. Or if you're on a computer, it's right at the bottom of the screen next to share. So if you have something you want to share, raise your hand and go for it. Paul, I see you have popped up. Go for it.
Alrighty then. Where do I start? So good evening, everyone.
Quick intro,
Thanks for
yes.
inviting me on the panel.
Yep.
Can everyone hear me? Because
Yep.
I've had some audio problem. Okay, great, outstanding. So born and raised in Haiti. Came here when I was 14, and I've been in the U.S. ever since. Both my parents are of Haitian descent. I currently reside in the suburbs of Atlanta, Gwinnett County specifically. I have been involved with the Haitian community, particularly the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. I was the former vice president for about a couple of years, and basically got to interact with different organizations, different entities, Caribbean associations. I've worked with Jackie Powell's and different, pretty much a lot of the people within the Caribbean sphere. Currently, I work as an engineer, and I'm also a veteran, member of the armed forces. So things get very interesting when we have these conversations, and hearing what he said about somebody potentially be my new commander in chief. And I just came back from a leadership meeting from some of the commanders there, and then when they found out I was Haitian, people got very uncomfortable around me. So it was my job to kind of reassure them and have a dialogue. So that's my background. And I'll try to keep it short, and I'll just wait for the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. And Jerry?
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Jerry Kinyanjuri. I am Kenyan American, and obviously Kenya is a very good friend of Haiti's, and so I'm here to represent supporters of Haiti. And thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Did you have a question or did you have a reaction to anything that we've discussed thus far?
To the statement that he made?
Yes. As a non-Haitian, but a Haitian supporter, you heard that. What was it? Was it like WTF? Was it oh my God? Was it like Joker?
I was in a group chat with some friends, and we were reacting to the debate in real time. And literally my jaw dropped because I could not believe that he had gone there. I think there's a lack of sensitivity on his part when it comes to, people from other cultures. And when you attack Haiti, you actually attack all Black people in America, because there's no telling the difference between any of us. Nobody can tell just by looking at me that, I'm not Haitian, right? And so there's, plenty of very heated conversation going on in our group chat, just because we all felt attacked.
Yeah.
And, clearly, Gemma says, this is not true, and fortunately, I do have a lot of friends like on the MAGA side, and I say fortunately because they need people to call these things out, because they're just believing everything that's just fed to them. So I love having these discussions with my MAGA friends too, just so that we can just correct, fact check and correct things. And so I've been doing that since the debate. That's kind of what I've been doing, is going around and telling people, no, we do not eat cats and dogs. Haitians, are of African descent. I'm African. We do not eat cats and dogs. Thank you very much. And, just the rhetoric is just, he's going to tone it down.
Gotcha. Martine, you are now on the screen. What are your thoughts? Give us a quick intro and then your thoughts. Oh, we are not hearing.
You are on mute, Martine. I think we can hear you.
Not.
I think they had muted us, so she would have to mute herself.
So, Martin, the audio icon, the little microphone, if you click on it, there's an upward arrow. If you click on the upward arrow where it says select microphone, the third option, which is same as system, external microphone, if you just click on that, it probably should be your audio access. Okay, so while Martin is
I can go next.
Okay, yeah, it's my okay.
Craig, you want me to go next?
Yes, Sylvia, go ahead. Give us an intro and give us your thoughts.
Thank you so very much. My name is Sylvia Cotia. I'm a U.S.-born Haitian American of Haitian descent, born and raised here in New York. but have been, ongoing to Haiti from, obviously with my parents. I'm also from a large family of 8 siblings. And my organization, Positive Women United, it is a nonprofit organization for young girls, women of all ages, such as Silk for the Vote. We're not able to officially endorse a candidate, but we are working to empower young ladies 18 in age and over to register to vote. So it's up to them to choose their best U.S. presidential candidate of their ability. But we are empowering young girls, young women ages 18, especially younger Gen Zs, 18 to 24, 18 to 35, that we're targeting to vote for the upcoming U.S. presidential elections. As far as for me, my opinions and my expressions are my own as an individual. As a Haitian, U.S.-born American of Haitian descent, you grew up listening to these lies and rhetorics from 70s, 80s. It was the dead of a silence in the 90s and so forth, but now it has risen again as far as these lies and rhetorics of Haitians. And you do get tired, you do get exhausted of it, and we are always rallying, protesting, peaceful protesting, that is. And it's ongoing, and it just seems like we're either the butt of the jokes, or something like this has happened as far as eating pets or eating animals, which Haitians does not do. We are we do keep cats and dogs as pets, and both here and abroad. I have a dog, I have a cat in my parents' backyard in Haiti. I mean, that's not something that we are pet owners. So hearing something like this is just it's beyond me that this individual that also did express this person did not know that it would go to the extreme when they said this, and they have since apologized that they did not know. And this resident from Springfield, Ohio did put this out there. She did not know that this would have gone to where it is, and she has since apologized that this was not true. So it goes to show you that when you say certain things and you're targeting, Haitians, and of course it is the first Black independent republic in the world, and Haiti is pretty much, I would say, the Black Wakanda. It is to be the Black Wakanda. That was the rest in peace Jacques Dessalines, former emperor, ruler of Haiti. That was his dream, that Haiti was to be the Black Wakanda. And that means not only Black freedom itself for all Black people, but Black economic freedom. So that was the vision, that was the dream. So we continue to strive, we continue to embrace that vision and to make that into a fruition. That we know that, unfortunately, a lot of things are happening in Haiti as we speak, and that's not the route that we want to go to. But a lot of the Haitian, unfortunately, has had a brain drain of, you have the professionals leaving Haiti and to come here and abroad and to work hard. And they get the low end jobs because they start from the ground up. We start self-made, and you in major cities and suburbs and residential towns, throughout the country, and you get the low end jobs, and you start somewhere, and you come here to work, you come here to embrace the American dream, and you come here, you go to school. Eventually, you get the low-end jobs, and eventually you promote. Eventually you rise to the occasion, and you go to the chain of commands of doing everything to achieve the American dream and to achieve your own personal dream. And by bringing your family here, and by you obviously also traveling back home, and being a bi-coastal traveler. So when you hear certain things like this, we pay taxes. We're entrepreneurs, we're professionals here. We're hardworking professionals. Both of my parents, hardworking professionals. They came here in the 70s. Obviously I was born here, so I am of the 70s, generation, and went to school here, college, and obviously homeowner, several entrepreneur brands of successful brands here in the U.S. And this is just unacceptable as far as what is being said once again.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that the rallies had started in Queens, New York, in New York City itself, and it has branched out to, I think, rally in Chicago earlier this afternoon,
Yeah.
and nationwide as well. So
Yeah.
we had a huge turnout of the rallies
Yeah.
in Nassau County, Queens, Brooklyn, in the greater New York City tri-state area. So I'm very happy to join you all.
Wonderful. Did we get Martine back up and running? If not, we'll go to Wisha. I think was the pronunciation.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. Let's give Francine a chance to get you up on the screen.
Thank you, Paul, for that tip.
One second, Martine. Francine, can you keep 4 on the screen? You can take me off. I don't need to be on the screen. I don't want to hurt people's eyes. But Martine, yes. Thank you for joining us. Give us an intro and your initial reaction to the madness.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's definitely a pleasure to be here. I am Martine Volsi. I was born and raised in Haiti. Both of my parents are Haitian descent. One thing my father said to me when we moved here in the 90s, and he stayed back because he had his own business. And one thing he said to me, he said, I would rather be a slave in my own country, rather be enslaved in somebody else's country. So that thought, it kind of stuck with me throughout my life. For 10 years, I was the voice of Haiti on WRFG 89.3 FM, which is a community radio station. I had a Haitian folklore dance troupe here in Atlanta. I took a break after COVID. I kind of took a break from everything, and now I'm just teaching. But when I heard, I'm not on the news anymore. I'm listening to the news because it's so negative. But through social media, of course, I've heard what was said about Haiti. Was it offensive? Yes. Did it hurt my feelings? Absolutely not, because it's not true. It doesn't represent me, and it doesn't represent my people. So what I've learned is not to let certain things people say about Haiti and my country affect my emotions and take my energy, right? The first thing that came to mind was why. Why is Haiti always being attacked? Why is the Haitian people always under attack? So, of course, what I did is I started doing my research. I'm a researcher. I love to research. And I could share what I find out later on. But no, I did not let it get to me. I wasn't upset. I did not, get on social media and talk about everything that he said. Because why? Because it's spreading the negativity. Okay.
Right.
So instead of spreading the negativity, what I did is I went on TikTok and I played a clip of what's been going on in Haiti for the past 30, 40 years and why Haiti is in the state that it is. So I'm going to leave it under 2 minutes for now.
Wonderful. Okay. Wisha. We have Paul, but let me see if Wisha is ready to chime in. Yeah. Not yet. Okay. Go ahead, Paul. Unmute and go for it.
I'm sorry, guys. So that's the part I forgot. I know I introduced myself, but I didn't give you my take on what he said. So, like Martine, it was expected, right? So, and I'll go a step further, saying that he knew exactly what he was saying. He knew exactly, because it's a point of basically getting his masses worked up on something that was absolutely false. But this is, when I heard it, it kind of opened an old, because in the 90s, kids were physically assaulted in the 90s, right? Haitian was a bad word. The things about us eating cut dogs and cats, and then bring AIDS to the U.S., right? Which, by the way, was a result of the FDA. So a U.S. entity helped spread a false rumor. So now we carried AIDS, and then we eating dogs and cats. So kids were being physically assaulted, abused, bullied in high school. So I went through that process, right? And then put closure to it. And then now, 30 years later, I'm reliving this, right? So then I tell people words matter, right? Words matter, and all it takes is to basically plant the seed in somebody's head and just disappear. But you've done the damage. You just poison the well. One thing we learn in military leadership is that it benefits you when you have a population that's not as educated, that doesn't have critical thinking skills. And there's a study that was done by 40 or 50% of Americans have below 6th grade education. believe it or not, when I came to the States, I thought all Americans were smart. But we have a large percentage of our population basically have a lower level of education. They don't have the critical thinking skills. So all you have to do is basically plant the seed into their head.
Yeah.
And then disappear.
Wonderful.
And that's exactly what he's done.
Wonderful.
Now, he used the lady's word and to spread his propaganda. But the lady has since recanted her story. And then she said, oh, I heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody else. But it doesn't matter because now you've got him, Elon Musk, and company pushing this false agenda. So yeah, so it upset me a little bit in the beginning because of my personal experiences. But I expected it because people will do things like this when they feel threatened, when their backs is against the wall, and they have to motivate their masses to get a desired outcome. That's propaganda 101, and we learned that in the strategy and leadership school.
Yeah, and initially we were gonna get together and do something to try to kill this. Well, not kill it, but offer an alternative narrative. And it's one of those things where you don't want to respond to it because then that will elicit other responses, and then the echo chamber goes off. It's like, you know what? Let's not be part of the problem. Let's just stay off it and not give it any oxygen. But not everybody thought that way, and so here we are. Right? It's just bouncing around.
I think it would be a great opportunity for the Haitian community and allies to actually take advantage of this and basically push Haitian culture up front and center. Like, okay, you want bad math us? Okay, fine. We're gonna tell you all the positive things about Haiti. So instead of replying to the negative side, we capitalize on it by basically overloading people with positivity. And at that point, there's no way around it, right? Because they're gonna be bombarded by the culture, the food, the music, everything, and also historical factors that tie the U.S. and Haiti together, right? We can tell them about the Battle of Savannah, right? In 1779, how Haitian militias, 500 soldiers from Haiti helped American militias fight the British during the Battle of Savannah, right? There's a monument there in downtown, the square of Savannah. Nobody talks about it, but they're all Haitian, right? Nobody talks about it. So I think we should just capitalize on it, play their game against them, and basically overload them with positivity.
And that is exactly what we're going to do. I wonder if you're cheating and looking at my notes here. Because I want to offer the alternative narrative, right? So my next question, thank you for a beautiful setup, was that Haiti is often targeted and marginalized, but has made some very important contributions to the world, which goes completely unrecognized. Let's go to Ariel, since he hasn't chimed in yet, but of all these wonderful contributions with a lot of sacrifice, which one would you like to highlight? And if one panelist gives a response, you can't give that same response. Give another, because we could be here all night talking about what Haiti has done for the world. So let's try to get Ariel up on the screen. I think he was having some audio issues, but I learned today that there's a natural resource in Haiti that is heavily guarded 24/7, and the world wants to get their hand. I've lived over 50 years and never knew that, and that's a damn shame. So, Ariel, can we get you up? What part of Haiti, what contribution would you like to celebrate? Ariel. Come on, Ariel. I'm rooting for you. Ariel is a journalist and has been in the Haitian media space for quite a long time. And come on, Ariel. Oh, he walked away from his computer or phone. See, ceiling tiles. Okay. All right, let's work backwards. Martine, would you like to take one? Take that.
Sure, I would love to. I will give you a brief story growing up in Haiti. My mother always used to tell us in the countryside, when she used to go to the countryside to visit her grandparents, she would go to the river. And the river, it would just be gold, right? She'll go in the river and then she'll pick the gold. And she would say, to them, the gold had no value because the value was the people, right? So now Haiti has tons of resources. Haiti has natural resources. Haiti has gold. Haiti has black diamond. Haiti has regular diamond. And Haiti has uranium. So a lot of people think when the UN goes to Haiti, they go for humanitarian work, right? No, they go to Haiti to protect and to steal the resources that Haiti has. And a great example of that is in the countryside, there was a truck, a UN truck that got to an accident and it rolled over. In the back of it, it was full of resources, natural resources that they stole from the country. So yes, Haiti is very valuable in terms of resources that they've been sucking out of the country for years. And that people are not aware of those things. Why? Because Haiti's demonized, right? The Haitian people are constantly put in the spotlight as uneducated. We have contributed so much, not just to the United States, but to Venezuela, to Cuba, Dominican Republic, and so many different countries. So I'm gonna leave it there if somebody else wanna chime in. There is evidence of uranium. There is. Of course, they're not gonna tell you guys that. They're not gonna share the things. Here's the thing, right? To keep people in a state of struggle, you have to lie to them, right? They're not gonna share that Haiti has uranium. Why? Because they want to continue to steal Haitians' resources. Why would I share that with a different country? Why would I share it with the Haitian population? The Haitian population knows that because it is right there in the mountains. Why would they say, hey, go to the media and say, hey, you know what? Haiti has uranium. Come on.
Wow. Yeah, that is the resource that I learned about not even maybe 2 hours ago, and the unfair political arrangements around that, and that is such a precious resource nowadays that could easily alleviate a lot of the issues in the country as far as some of the social problem, poverty, and so on. But we'll leave that for another discussion. Paul, did you have another thing you want to celebrate about Haiti as we change the narrative?
Yes. So basically, a couple of them. So I started writing myself some notes down. So one of the things that I want to say from Haiti provided shelter and support to Simon Bolivar, and he was able to hide in the southern part of Haiti by providing him ammunition, coffee, men to fight, and that helped Simon Bolivar free 7 countries in Latin America. Right. So
Wow.
if it were not for the help of Haiti, he would have failed because everyone else was against him. And that's the reason why the country of Ecuador and Colombia, they have the Haitian flag, the red and blue, and the added the yellow.
Is
That's
that
the
so?
Haitian flag. So they helped free 7 countries in Latin America thanks to us, and it was interesting because no one else wanted to help him. But the moment he made it, then he didn't want to recognize Haiti for supporting him because he didn't want to angry the white Europeans, But that was a big interesting fact about it. And the other thing also is like Haiti basically sent guns, rifles, gunpowder, and tobacco and coffee to Greece in 1921, helping them during the independence fight. So, and there's a big article and a big proclamation that the Greek government wrote for its support to help Greece gain its independence in 1821. I mentioned the Battle of Savannah, and one thing that we should note also was Haiti cast the decisive vote at the UN for recognizing the state of Israel. There was a draw, and Haiti was the one that basically broke that tie and for the recognition for state of Israel, which is why Haiti and Israel has a very good relationship. People don't talk about these things, right? Unless you know the history. So these were some nuggets. I could go on and on, but I'll let somebody else.
Yes. Let's see. Gemma's still up on my screen, but I'm still trying to get Ariel, who is still not at his phone right now. Okay, Ariel's gonna come back. Okay. Let's see. Wisha, you want to chime in yet? If not, we'll go to Gemma. Go.
Well, I would represent for more on the entertainment portion.
Okay.
For me, because the entertainment space is my forte, I will say that I am so proud of Wyclef Jean. I have relations to him, his sister, his wife, and you know, there are other Haitian artists out there. They don't, in my opinion, they don't represent Haiti. They don't show the pride of Haiti like Wyclef Jean does. Even when he started out with the Fugees, I think people in a global scale didn't even know what Haiti was. Like, it was like this, you know, they have an idea, but not really. And because this new generation relies so much on music, right? So if we're trying to tie it into voting, music is such a powerful thing. And I think Wyclef does a really good job of putting the two together. Of course, when Obama was running for president, you had somebody like him and other musical artists coming together, trying to make that initiative to get not just Haitians, you know, Black America to go out to vote when Obama was running. And, you know, they had concerts and all these different things. So I would credit entertainment, specifically Wyclef Jean, to help at least put Haiti, you know, put it front and center. And to me, music is such a good way to promote Haiti. So like you said, Paul, instead of focusing on the negative, take that, you know, take the negative and turn it into a positive. And what is a universal language? Music.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Dr. Nelson, thank you for the cheat sheets you're passing me here back channel. She says it's estimated that Haiti has about 20 billion with a B dollars worth of gold. That is incredible. That is incredible. Okay, let's dig in more on the politics side. I heard, a little birdie told me, I don't know if it's true, but they told me that the great irony in all of this is that a lot of Haitians tend to vote Republicans based, you know, on, you know, different things. You know, we're all from the Caribbean, faith-based communities, traditional marriage, you know, certain views on abortion, so on and so forth. So initially I was like, I can't see that. But then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? There's possibly some merit to that. But we're also presupposing that Haitians are all one, when really it could be down to an individual level. So I see Paul, you're shaking your head. You want to go with that? Go for it.
Oh, so I had that conversation, and for me, it was, I noticed a difference. So I grew up in Miami, Florida, then I moved to Tennessee, and I got to see change. So I will say, on paper, yes, because a lot of people from the Caribbean tend to be very traditional, very conservative, religious, you know, they believe in marriage between man and woman. That is true to a certain extent. However, what you find out is the majority of Haitians actually, I think the people that are more
in the red states that do have those, which are the values. I understand, you know, being of Haitian descent, Haitian American, we tend to carry the traditional values. But right now, he could care less about, you know, traditional for him. You know what I mean? Because we are authentic, we are genuine to the core as far as our morals and values and what we carry and holding on to the tradition and the legacy. He could care less. He just wants the votes in just to go in. So it's just, you know, how we're able to leverage this right now as far as what's going on, that I think that Haitians should wake up and smell something besides coffee. And despite that this man was never our friend, he's not going to be your friend. Stop lying to yourself. Stop being in denial. And I'm being blunt here.
Yeah, I would say,
how is it that we could utilize this to say, wake up, smell besides the coffee, and just get, you know, stop being emotional, get beside your feelings, and just see for what it is. That, you know, we're not forcing you, but, you know, we're just having you to make these hardcore decisions as far as where you stand. Because obviously the red is not helping you.
I will say,
Hope it helping
I will
you.
say for anybody, regardless of your party affiliation, when you vote, is to educate yourself. And we have an education problem with the Haitian community. We have misinformation in education. Because you have people who think they're missing politics, and you have people who just don't see. They don't see. They have myopic vision. They don't see the end game. What we call the second, third order effects. They don't see that. They just see what's going to happen tomorrow, but they don't see the ramification. So part of what people should be doing in the community is to educate them and say, hey, put away your emotions. Here are the facts. And if you do X, this is what's going to happen. If you do Y, if you vote Y, this is what's going to happen. And then hope that they will make the right decision. Because it comes down to just education and critical thinking skills. And that's something that's really lacking with some of the people in our community, right? The misinformation, people trying to play. It's so easy to manipulate people now on social media because if some Facebook thing must be true, right? And that's a big problem. We're fighting social media. We're fighting multiple means of media outlets, basically pumping false information and also information community. You have people who are misinformed, so that's all about. So there are more than one battle, but I think it's education and combating misinformation.
A general question, just to kind of drive the conversation some more. You know, there's a saying that don't argue with people who already had their mind made up. You're not gonna,
Yes,
right? But
That's true. Yes.
if you were voting for Trump, hypothetical, right? I don't care about anybody's political affiliation, but if you were voting for Trump or thinking of, people say, oh, he's not the perfect candidate, right? This is how people kind of just like couch their support for him. He's not the perfect candidate, but I can hold my nose and vote for him. If that was your mindset before this whole fracas, would this move the needle for you as a voter? And say, you know what, I can't do it. I can't.
So there was a young lady who basically posted a video, and actually I shared that on HLA. She said to me something that was very true. She says, regardless of your values, regardless of your affiliation, the moment somebody attacks your culture, your kind, all bets are off. And
Right.
she said, so that was actually a very, very strong statement. She said, I don't care if I like you, I'm gonna vote for you, but the moment you attack me, forget that. Screw you, dude. I'm gonna vote for somebody else. So that's when people have to understand, right? I mean, the guy is promising you X, Y, and Z. At the same time, he's saying all these bad things about you. He's already showing you his character. He's already telling you what he's gonna do or what he's gonna say about you. And if you don't see through that, then you are very gullible. So I tell people they should always default to your tribe, right? I mean, you want values. There's everything, you know. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? You know, shelter. You can look at the priorities, but at the end of the day, family comes first, right? My culture comes first. Forget the party, right? So if you attack my tribe, then I'm going to protect my tribe, and I'm going to look for whoever may provide me a better deal, right? Or maybe looking for my tribe. You can't pick the lesser of two evils. But people need to use that approach because the young lady who said that, said, look at the Jewish community. They may vote blue, they may vote red, but the moment you attack them, whichever side, the whole block is going to move to the other side. And that's just to make a statement. They may not like that person, but they're going to vote as a block, which is something we're not doing.
All right, Sylvia.
Thank you for bringing that
Go
up.
for it.
Thank you, Kind, for bringing that up. That's something that needs to be addressed. He's been saying lies and rhetoric about Haitian people, calling African nations, and obviously hating the S-whole countries.
Oh my goodness.
So he's been doing this for quite some time, and it just seems like we're not getting the bigger picture. And this is a tunnel vision. So it gets exhausting, and we have to keep convincing our people, our Haitian people, like, get the picture. Let's, get it together. Like, it's in your face. I mean, it's blatantly. What is it that you're not getting? What is the problem here? It's all over social media. It's all over the media. It's ongoing. It's consistent. He's saying it directly out of his mouth. He's saying something directly at one of his rallies about Springfield, Ohio. The VP president candidate, he is from Ohio. He's pretty much originally probably an hour away from Springfield, Ohio. What is it not getting here? Like, what is it? What is it going to take to convince the Haitian people? And I'm having a hard time with that. So thank you for addressing that. It's just that it takes a lot, and we will continue to report these topics and bring awareness.
Yeah.
I thought that you said, which is the Haitian unity, which is for my parents' generation. of Haitian unity. Once that happened back then, all Haitians get together, and that was that. So one
And
thing,
it's amazing how, you know, lost in all of this is the original residents of Springfield, right? Now they have all these news trucks, and you can't find a hotel, and it's police are like overstretched.
So
And
I'm
so,
actually, yeah, that's
go.
actually a very good point. So,
Yeah.
so doing some research in this, I found out the U.S. government did not put 20,000 people there. People have been coming to Springfield because of a labor shortage since 2018, 2019 when Trump was in power. Okay, let's get to the bottom of it right now.
And
I'm engineer, I
Mexicans.
do root cause analysis. They've been coming in and word of mouth. People say, "Hey, there are jobs there." So slowly but surely, people started moving up there. They didn't just show up in 2024. They've been there since 2018, 2019, and the population grew by a third of the. And the reason why, because people were actually leaving Springfield, the tax base was decreasing, and then they have all those jobs there, and the people were saying, "Hey, we need to bring people in." So they brought in Hispanics, and the Haitians got wind of it.
Yes.
So it happened actually under Trump, but nobody wants to talk about that part, right? So
Right.
so this is how the whole thing started. That was the genesis of it. But one thing I would say, going back to the Trump insulting Haitians, right? You will be hard pressed to find a politician insult the Asian community. That's only 6.5% of the U.S. population. By the way, Asians are known for eating dogs, cats, bats, snakes, you name it, everything that falls under the sun. But have you ever seen the politician badmouth the Asian community? It's very hard pressed. Why? Because they vote as a bloc. Two, they have economic power.
Right.
Okay? And three, they know how to lobby politicians, something that we black people are not doing, right?
We don't have
The
a
Asians
voice.
spend a lot of money
Yeah.
lobbying people to make sure that no one say anything bad about them, if not there are consequences. Okay?
Right.
Money talks.
in hate law that's now federal. It's a federal. So
Yeah.
we have yet to have all federal law.
That's right.
Federal law.
The Asians were able to do that, and we still cannot get a law on the books against lynching and all this. But the Asians were able to do it. Why? Because they got money and they know how to lobby people. They understand the system. They make the system work in their advantage, right? It's something that a lot of us don't do. A lot of black people don't want to spend money on politicians, but that's the game you gotta play. You have to get involved in the lobbying aspect of it. It's one thing to go out in the street and make all the demonstration and protest, right? But you gotta go to this guy and say, "Hey man, listen, here's my deal. I can bring you 20 grand, 50 grand, 100K, but I don't want to hear jack about Haitians, right? And I want to know what can you do for my people." We're not having that conversation.
So are you saying that they were saying that the visa, it wasn't under Trump, it was Biden that said, okay, Haitians, come to Springfield, you can be in a visa for 2 years, work in the car industry, because that's what the need was at the time. Are you saying that it wasn't Biden offered that visa for 2 years for the Haitians?
It's a parole program because there's CPS and there's also the Biden program. They're two different programs. But what I'm saying is some of those beneficiaries ended up going to Springfield. But initially, before that, people were already moving to Springfield before those programs. So
the program, okay.
Yes. So yes, some people who actually were part of those programs ended up migrating up to Springfield. But before that, people were already moving up there, right? And no one's talking about that part. No one's talking about that part. And by the way, and even those that had the program, they didn't necessarily go to Springfield. They went all over the U.S. But word of mouth is what got people to Springfield. Biden did not send, the U.S. government did not send people to Springfield. People went up there because they got wind of it by friends and family members who told them. And also, by the way, some of the companies were recruiting. I heard directly. They were recruiting directly. They would send scouts to South Florida and try to get people to move up there. So there are companies actively recruiting in other states with large Asian demographics and trying to bring them up to Springfield. So it's a combination of many factors. So they didn't just magically show up in 2024, right?
Got it.
But no one's talking about that.
Gotcha.
Right.
I wanna bring back in Jerry. I hope I'm saying that right. On the topic of swaying your vote, if you were actually, let me say this. Let me do a quick backstory of why I'm not Haitian, but it's one for all and all for one. That's something we've heard growing up, right? It's almost just like a cliche throwaway line, but some years ago, I think it might have even been with the whole political cycle last time when the whole thing about Nigeria came up. And I was in like a Bible study group, and someone read a poem, and it stuck with me. Like, I have terrible memory, but it stuck with me. I'm just gonna quickly read it, and then I'm gonna come to Injiri, who is not Haitian either, but she's here in support of the Haitian. Amen. All right. It says, first they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I am not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. So when we think we're not going to get involved because it doesn't affect you, when it's your turn and they took away everybody else, who will then speak for you, right? So, Injiri, enlighten us.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff.
Thank you. Would this have moved your political needle at all?
No, absolutely, because character matters, right? When we're talking about a leader who's going to hold the most powerful leadership seat in the entire world, character matters. And character reflects values, right? So the character that this guy has shown reflects the values that he has and doesn't have, right? Or doesn't have, whichever way we want to look at it.
Like they're
So
right.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Had I been voting differently and the events that happened at the debate happened and the words that were said at that debate were said, I would have changed my vote. And, I think another thing that we overlook, and, I think this is us Americans in general, is that, like when you say, when somebody comes for the Haitian community, they come for all of us.
All of us,
right?
yes.
This is not an attack on the Haitian community, it's an attack on people who look like us,
Yeah.
right? It's really a reflection of when he says he's going to mass deport, all these people who are here legally, by the way, right? You've got to wonder, how's he going to tell who they are, right? Are they going to knock on each one of our doors, asking us to prove our country of origin or our heritage, our ethnicity? What are they going to do, right? And I think that we need to educate our African American brothers and sisters on how this might come to affect them. This is not about Haiti. It's about all of us. Here in Florida, so I live in Palm Beach, Florida, and I understand that in Florida we've got about 1 million Haitian American voters.
Wow.
And, I think that what we need to do, like Gemma's here in Florida with me too, is, to figure out how to reach this 1 million Haitian American voters. This state can be a swing state, and not just reach those people. I go canvassing in, some of the Black neighborhoods because some of the political affiliation, political and political groups that I'm involved in, where we go canvassing, don't have the representation of someone who looks like us. So I'm often asked to go with them to the Black neighborhoods. And I think that this is something that we should be educating people about as we go to these neighborhoods, right? Have you heard of what was said about our Haitian brothers and sisters? Do you know that that's not true? Do you understand that when he says he's going to mass deport them, we all look the same? He's coming after us, not just them. It's all of us, right? And for people to also understand, just one last thing, that one of the things that led to the abolition of slavery around the globe was Haiti being the first country that abolished slavery, right? So we owe Haiti a debt of gratitude for igniting that movement that led to us having the freedoms that we have today, and we should be evangelizing those good things about Haiti and telling people, and educating people on those things. I don't think my African American friends even know that.
Yes, another one of those buried secrets that does not get celebrated, does not get evangelized, does not get spoken about. Okay, so this has been great. Let's get off the cats and dogs situation on a personal level, because this is how they talk to everybody else. What are the issues that matter to you? Right? We have abortion, we have economy, we have immigration, we have the border, we have foreign policy. Like on a personal level, let's work back. Paul, what are your top 3, top 5 issues?
So I will start with economy, but I will also say foreign relations, right? So being in the military, I'm privy to certain information that a lot of people don't have to. So foreign policy will take a lot of things, and the effect of globalization can negatively impact the U.S. economy, right? So, for instance, if we impose a tariff for China, guess what? Everything's included, right? And then whoever's in charge is probably going to blame the other party, right? So aside from trying to work on our economy domestically, we should also look at our foreign policies, how they may impact our allies, how they may impact us, what will be the effect on the population, because there's direct correlation between what happens across the globe. It'll be reflected within 24 hours in the US. So, for instance, Suez Canal, right? There was a blockage in Suez Canal. Something happened. There was a ship that
turned sideways.
Yeah. And the fuel prices just went up, and everybody would berserk. Cost of corn, everything. So it just, and by the way, that fuel was not even in the US yet, but speculators used that as an excuse to hike up the price of fuel. And then everything went up. Next thing you know, food was like $1 gazillion. A gallon of milk was like almost $5. So the effect of, there's a direct correlation between the globalization, foreign policies, world affairs. So these are things I concern. The economy. The other thing also is, I'm trying to think here. People talk about abortion, right? So I'm a firm believer in a woman's right to choose, right, at a certain limit. So if somebody, like I said, you're not gonna know somebody's pregnant in 6 weeks, right? At 6 to 8 weeks, right? Some women don't even know they're pregnant until past that point. So I think there should be some leeway on that, even though I'm a Christian, but I think there should be some leeway on how we approach this. I don't think that somebody should have an abortion at 9 months, right? 10 months, 43 weeks. But I think that also within the first trimester, women should have enough leeway to decide what they want to do with their body, right? Because that gives them enough time to decide which way they're going to go,
right? And
instead of saying, within 6 weeks, because some women don't even know they're pregnant. They don't even know their status within 6 weeks. And I come from a family of medical people, so I'm not just putting things out of the head. Let's see what else: politics, world affairs, economy, and the border, right? So the border, I think we need to have control immigration. And the reason why I say this, we cannot let everybody in, right? I mean, we have to have control immigration. However, I think it's very hypocritical for people who want to control immigration now, when the same farmers were the one picking people at the border to work in their farms. Look at the cornfield. Look at a lot of farms. A lot of farmers were strictly Republican conservative. Where do you think they were getting their labor force from? The border. They would send buses there. They would have scouts. They would recruit people. Now it's gotten out of hand, right? Because everybody's getting there on the different issues in their native country. But a lot of people who are saying we don't want those foreigners in our country are secretly recruiting people and hiring people, paying them a fraction of the cost to work on their land. Go to Bainbridge, Georgia, right? There's a large population of migrant workers there. These people are working pennies on a dollar, right? For us to be able to eat food at Kroger and Dixie stores at affordable. Yeah, but these people, they're getting paid pennies, right? So I think there's got to be a balance on the border. How that should be done. I have a couple thoughts about that, but I think that we need to keep an eye on it and not let everyone in, but it's got to be controlled. Because as we bring people in, there are also people exiting the country, because you have expats leaving the U.S. No one talks about that part also. So,
good point. Let's see. Boy, Ariel was supposed to be the star of this show, but we can't.
Real quick here. Somebody asked about China. I would say yes.
Can you hear me?
Our foreign policy should also include channels.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Let's see. Yes, Ariel, go ahead. We're not having your video, but
I'm sorry I could not intervene earlier. Actually, I'm not home. I've got my son. We have some issues, but what I was going to say, because I already told you that I've been involved you know, in the Haitian space, as this is the term you use, you know, for a long time, maybe since the end of the 80s, the 90s,
Wow.
you know, with an organization, we help Haitian kids, you know, to go to school. We do it after work and stuff like that. We have an organization for that, but that lapsed because Haitians had left Manhattan. I live in Manhattan. I stayed, but a lot of Haitians, you know, that I know they moved to Long Island or Brooklyn or whatever. Having said that, I'm very interested in, you know, I follow, kind of heard the subject. What I want to say is this. I'm not surprised by what Trump said. And given that in my mind, I believe Republicans can do anything to get power. So even though now in the polls they say that Kamala is, you know, gaining ground, but you don't know what Republicans can do. Now, regarding Haiti, I'm puzzled in the sense that I believe all people are the same. But why is it that Haiti is going to what it is going? Now, a while ago, maybe a couple of years ago, I was thinking about it because I have friends with whom, you know, I discuss, and I had my understanding was there are three reasons, and I cannot know which one it is. Is it they want us to pay because we fought the French and gained independence? Some Haitians believe that. Some people believe that.
How dare you?
Making us pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because we have underground resources? Because a lot of Haitians believe that we have resources and they want the resources, so they lack in reserve. And
Three.
is it because, I mean, this is far-fetched. Are they afraid of Haiti? Because if Haiti at one time changed the whole economic system, can they do it again if they unite? Because what has been happening is the division that has been, you know, put in place in Haiti. We can never have somebody patriot to lead us. They always find what we call conseil, in other words, traitors, you know, to do the dirty work of the capitalist system. That's the way I would put it. So honestly, I don't know which is it. I don't think it can be all three, but you know, observation tells us that they don't want Haiti to be a stable country to prosper. That's the way it looks to me.
Could it be all three?
And pardon?
Could it be all three factors?
I don't. No, I haven't arrived at that. But what I like with you guys is the fact that you're willing to consider the problem, and once the problem is considered, you know, it can be. If it cannot be resolved, it's not a problem. That's the way I would put it. That's how they say it. So we need to strategize and persevere.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ariel.
Sure. I won't be able to stay, as I say, I'm not home.
Yes, that's okay.
But I do appreciate, so this is to be continued.
To be
Let's
continued.
see how we can strategize. Because if we strategize for Haiti, we strategize for the whole Caribbean, we strategize for Africa, you know, because we are under, you know, the wrong end of the, of the rope. We need to climb.
Right. This is just the beginning. One of the things I had in my notes, but we're moving because of time. We don't want to keep everyone all night. My heart really goes out to Haiti. It just seems like Haiti always has something going on. If it's not a hurricane or earthquake or
that's the other thing. Yeah, you have that too. But that should not be the issue because Japan has more of these cataclysms than us.
Yeah.
So that's not what's insulting us. What I believe, either, as I said, it's like there is a, a negative, there is a will to, to keep us down. What they do to us, they don't do it to other countries. Now, as I say, what is the reason? I don't know if I can accept that we are still paying for having conquered the French.
Yeah.
Some people believe that, black people were people, and then we did that because this was a big, exploit, And as I say, we don't know, but at least those are food for thought.
Thank you, Ariel. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. Let's go back to Gemma.
And on the next one.
We're talking about the issues. I'm not opposed. Francine, can you? Okay, please go. Gemma, we're talking about. We're running out of time. 10 minutes left. Top 3 issues for you on the ballot.
Well, for me, I may look young, but I'm definitely not Generation Z or anything like that. I'm in the 80s generation, and definitely, being a woman, the whole abortion thing, I do know of women, especially Caribbean women, to be specific, that have voiced their concern and their opinion. And I feel bad for them because, yes, it shouldn't be the government to decide what we should do with our body. Is the government saying they want to be involved because they think that we need them, women need them to help make that decision? No. God gave us the human right to decide what to do with our body. The word doesn't say, oh, okay, well, the world government decides bring another life into this world, yes or no. That's not for them to decide.
Right.
That's for the woman, a woman's human right to decide what she decides to do. Because at the end of the day, yes, it might take a village, but it starts with the woman, number one. Number 2, the economy. Something Paul mentioned earlier, and just things I've been hearing echoing. Yes, America has presented themselves that foreigners, Caribbean people, you come to United States, you have the opportunity, you can have a better life. That's what my parents did. They left Haiti. They came to the United States for that better life, to make more money in the United States because the finance in Haiti is not here. But at the same time, is it really any better in the United States? Because people are going abroad, London and Spain and Paris and Venezuela. My brother's in Tokyo, Japan. He's also military. He's a Marine. But the position that he's doing in Tokyo, Japan, he's making more money. It doesn't cost as much. So he has more zeros in his bank account doing the exact same thing that somebody in the United States is doing. That's number 2. And then number three, you know, this whole concept, I feel like every time there's an election, whether you're blue and red, independent, you're swaying, COVID-19 changed everything. So to me, both candidates in real time needs to figure out, whoever wins, how to bring America back together, because America is a mess. And COVID-19 changed that. I'm realizing in real time, whether you're Caribbean, white American, black American, the whole concept of just shaking hands. People are still doing this fist thing. Since COVID has been gone, what, X amount of years, and people are still feeling uncomfortable. So I think we need to just go back to the basic concept of just human interaction, which has been so lost. And I personally don't think that has really been discussed as much. They're talking about mental health. I understand that. But we also need to talk about just the human connection, which is so lost.
Yeah,
So that's my top three.
Okay. Paul, I see you, but I want to bring back Martine, who has also been patiently waiting. Martine, your top three issues?
I don't have a top three. I don't have three, but I do have a top one. As an educator, I feel that education is a huge issue here in the United States. As a teacher, I see a lot of, basically we are teaching to the test. So, you know, it's scary to see in 20 years and 30 years who's going to be president of the United States because of our education system. And because of the way our education system is currently, Haitian history, Black history is not being told in a proper manner. The Caribbean history is not, African history is not being told in a proper manner. So you have individual making comments about certain countries and certain people where they're not educated. But if we had an education system which was qualified for everybody, not just a certain group of people, and I feel that as if, you know, if we change the history, if we put Black history in a whole, right, in the history books, we can have better educated individuals to run for office and that can represent us.
Copy. Well said. I'm always a little confused when they start talking about cutting the federal deficit, the budget, and the first thing they go after is education. It's like, why would you go after? You want people to be dumb? Is why? How does that make sense?
Yes.
But
believe it or not, yes. Yes.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we have students that, you know, that struggle and they just move them on to the next grade level.
Social promotion. Okay, wonderful. Oh man, we got so much to unpack. But Paul, go for it. This is great.
I think Martin kind of to segue and basically to piggyback on what you just said. Education is the big thing, right? It doesn't benefit people who have educated masses because they're gonna make good decisions. They're gonna use their critical thinking skills. So here's the irony of the whole thing that people don't realize.
Wrap it up.
As bad as some people are bad mouth thinking, Haiti has a very rigorous system. Simply put, if you can go to 12 years of education in Haiti and you pass the baccalaureate program, you are granted admission to France, Switzerland, Belgium, any of the French-speaking countries, consistent curriculum. So for a country that is supposedly so poor, so broke, so uneducated, once you complete 12 grades of education school, you go to primary, secondary school, it's the same curriculum as if you had gone to school in France, which is why those countries, they're poaching the talent. 87% of U.S. educated of college educated Haitians reside outside of the country, right? So the Canadian government is poaching nurses and doctors from Haiti as we speak now. So if the country is so bad, why are they poaching talent, right? So we have to look at the math is not mathing, right? I tell you, the math of mathing. With bad people, we eat this and that, we do all these things, we do voodoo, but yet you want our talent, right? So this is just like a big game, right? So once you understand the fact, you see that it's propaganda. It's a big smoke screen mirrors, and I want to bring that up. And I say, how could these people have the level of education and yet you're bad mathing, right? And you see in all career fields, my career field, medicine, law. I mean, even military. I met guys who were pilots, in the military and everything. They're all Haitian descent, right? Interpreters are all Haitian descent. But people say, oh, you know what? You're just a different type of Haitian. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean, right? You don't say it to the Asians, Like I go, like I'm the director of operation, right? I'm one of the few black in cyberspace operations in the Air Force. I'm the black guy. I show up there, and the first thing they ask me is like, where you from? What school you went to? And I'm like, did you ask all the engineering chiefs the same question? Because you're not asking the white guys that, but why are you asking me that question? Right? I mean, I'm like, wait. And then often I'm overqualified. I'm more qualified than those guys. So people have preconceived notions, right? And they made up their mind of who you are.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was in the meeting over the weekend,
Yeah.
and I had all those commanders, colonels, 1-star, 2-star general, and they were like, when I heard my accent, I thought I was from Haiti. They got really quiet, and they were very uncomfortable around me because I know what they were thinking. I know what they were thinking. During lunch break, I said, by the way, I don't eat dogs and cats. No, I let them know. Make them feel even more uncomfortable. But somebody has to say it, right? Somebody has to say it. But yeah, so that's what I want to say. Education is really key because we have a problem of education in the U.S. People are being moved up, and then that's our future, guys. And that's why the Asian community is outpacing us. Singapore invests 20% of its budget in education. China does something similar to that, and they invest heavily sending the kids overseas to learn everything we know and take it back. So there are cultures, customs, they get our education. That's why China is outpacing the US in terms of education. A lot of Asian countries are. We, in the meantime, we're afraid to hurt kids' feelings, right? That's the problem. So we're going to get to a point, I tell people, down the road, 2042, this country should be majority brown and black people, brown and yellow people. And then you're going to see, you always see it. Most of the people in leadership are going to be brown, they're going to be yellow, but you're going to see a lot of Asians there. Don't be surprised because that's the thought process is a lot different than some of us. And if the school's not doing it, guess what? They send their kids to other school. They send them Saturday and Sunday because they understand education is the key to success. On that note, I will yield.
I love it. And I love those moments where, we kind of stand out. I've been in IT 30 years, and so I had the pleasure of being in a very select group recently. And of course, as my mom would say, I was the only little ant in the sugar bowl, right? Story of my life. And I love those moments. Somebody came up to me and asked me, I could see just wondering, and you gotta give them props. They had the nerve to ask, how did you get up here? You know what I told them? I took the elevator. That's what I told them.
Yeah. I like when they ask me how did I get from Haiti to the US. I said I swam across the ocean while taking occasional breaks, and then they don't talk to me anymore. I'm like, how stupid is that? How did you get to the US? Did you ask anyone else?
No.
How did you get to the US? But
Nope.
why are you asking the black guy?
Exactly.
The only black guy they asked, how did you get to the US?
Yeah. Oh man,
So I've had several moments like both on the corporate world and on the military side. So, but I think
said to me, and I told them back in the 70s that my parents took a plane just like everyone else. So they boarded on a plane, and they went through, immigrations. They went through, process and got their, they came with their passports.
My I-89, got my I-89 port of entry and everything. But they don't get that. Some people, in their mind, they're probably thinking that you rode your way across the ocean.
No, we took a boat. Most Haitians are boat people.
That's right.
But not my family. All of my family, immediate extended family, took planes. Took the regular route.
Well, Sylvia, you have the mic. You want to give us your top issue? We have 1 minute left, and then I'll have Dr. Nelson wrap it up. But we got to do this again, monthly. There will be some other outrageous comment next week, and we'll just reconvene. Unfortunate, but go ahead.
Thank you so very much. I mean, I know this was not really tongue in cheek. I would say this was between informal and formal. So I'm so glad that we were able to, be comfortable and express our thoughts and opinions and our point of views. My thought to leave off is that we ought to continue the conversation, continue to bring in awareness about the positive sides of Haiti, and bring in more awareness towards Haitians and Haitian Americans and self like myself who are, U.S. born citizen of Haitian descent, that we ought to bring more of us to the table. And second would be, entertainment. yes, I know of Wyclef. He was recently here this past June. We do have a Haiti parade that I think is the second or third annual of a Haitian parade in New York City. That's in the core of Manhattan. So there's a lot of awareness and of Haitian unity and pride and programs and events going on throughout the country. So we do have ongoing Haitian celebrities. It's just not Wyclef. We have Marcel Bouvet, who had also posted on her page as far as what's going on, as far as that she is of Haitian descent. She came here when she was 7 years old. She never forget her Haitian roots. She posted on her personal page. So we got to get with the program.
Fancy.
You can't just say that there's one singular Haitian public figure or Haitian who are actually open the floodgates. Many Haitians that have opened the floodgates and it continues to do so. We have Florence El Luce of Hip Hop, Love and Hip Hop Miami. We have new ongoing Haitian public figures and celebrities that are out there. We have Jason Derulo. You know who he is. He's of U.S. born, American citizen of Haitian descent, a huge popular star, huge popular music star who worked for Beyonce and beyond. So, we have a lot of them who are expressing, who are sharing their point of view, who are sharing their Haitian pride, and we will continue to do so. The third one would say, let's continue to bring more awareness, bring more of these rallies, more of this peaceful protest throughout the country. As I mentioned, we had one earlier today in Chicago. They should be having ongoing right now, Miami as we speak. Miami should be picking up the baton. Ohio should be picking up the baton. Atlanta, obviously. So, Haitians are pretty much everywhere and abroad. So I know New York, we're always front and center. We're always the leader of the pack. So let's continue to move the needle and continue to embrace not only about our Haitian unity, but bringing African Americans, bringing Africans, bringing West Indians, bringing Caribbeans, Afro-Caribbeans to our table as well, a round table discussion, and have them to protest as well. Let's broaden the spectrum here.
I love it.
Let's bring all Black people united
together. I love it. All right, what a way to close it out. Dr. Nelson, I'd love to kick it to you, but before we do that, we are going to continue our From Bakanal to the Ballot Box series on Tuesday night. So if you are in Florida, or if you know people in Florida, we are going to be talking with attorney Marlon Hill, who is a certified voter advocate, going to give us the skinny on, voting in Florida, dates, when's the last day to register, when does early voting begin, absentee ballot, do you have to be out of the country, do you have to be sick, of all these different things, and what's on the ballot, who the candidates are, how can you check your registration, all these different finer points of voting, we think are very necessary for people who have up until now been very removed from the process, and now we're telling them go and vote, and then it was like they get there and it's like a complete blank, standing in front of the machine, okay, who is this judge and who's that treasurer, like I have no idea who these candidates are and what are these propositions at the bottom of the page, right? We don't know left from right. So Marlon's going to break it all down for us. Join us Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, to get the proper vote, Florida, if you're Floridian, all the proper voter education. Is Dr. Nelson still with us, Francine? Can you have her come in?
I see her on, but she may have stepped away from her.
Okay, not a problem. I will do my best Dr. Nelson impression. Well, thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming on this evening. This was a special evening. As you can hear, I'm on the road and just trying to make sure that this happened. And so thank you, Craig, and Sylvia and Jackie for making sure that you invited your special guest this evening. I
Thank you.
think the evening was very informative. I know I learned a lot, and I can't wait to hear some more. We're going to have our regular, I'll hold you back, Stevie.
Big 10.
We'll have our regular Soca the Vote on Wednesday evening. And we'll be listening on Tuesday evening also. Thank you so much, Fred, for all you're doing.
Sure.
And peace out, everyone.
Wonderful.
Thank you so very much.
And we're looking for recommendations. You can contact us at info@bakanal.tv. It's Bakanal with a K, not 3 C's and 2 H's. Bakanal with 1 K. We would love to get recommendations for voter advocates in the other battleground state. I think we have Georgia pretty much covered. We need like another Marlon Hill in Pennsylvania and in Wisconsin and in Michigan and North Carolina. Anywhere where it could go either way, we're gonna make it tip, to the way we want it to go.
We have a growing Caribbean community in Ohio, so we can start there too.
Wonderful. Dr. Nelson, welcome back. You're muted. Would you like to say a few closing words?
So that's it, folks. This is our first ever out here combined Bakanal TV voter empowerment series with Soca the Vote. We think we had a very rich discussion. We learned some new information. We met some new people. I want to thank all of our guests, Gemma, Paul, and Jerry. I think there was Martine also on the call. Still a member of our community group that meets every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I do hope you're able to come up with some specific action. Really moves beyond, as I say, the response. I really love what somebody said about coming up with some adjectives to, rather than repeating and saying the same word, erasure in terms of, Haiti is XYZ. It's an opportunity to educate Haitian American history is, for example, would be a very useful exercise at this point in time. So, and certainly in terms of modern times, one of our honorees at the Caribbean American Heritage Awards, his name slips me right now. One of our honorees, maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, was an electrical engineer, or was it mechanical? Anyway, he was one of the first ever black people to graduate degree, way back in the, I think, 1950 something. And he went on to become a vice president, I believe, in the IEEE.
IEEE, that's correct. IEEE.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Vice president.
Mm-hmm.
I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Well, we honored him. We also have honored in the past a Haitian painter who paints a beautiful mural. This is recent history now. Beautiful mural at JFK Airport that goes to the airport at our Caribbean American Heritage Awards. And so these are people whose work have reached of national significance. And of course, right now as we speak, we have a press secretary who has Haitian roots. So in the modern history, we are also contributing to America's well-being and welfare. This is why we do National Caribbean American Heritage Month. We really support all people of Caribbean heritage. That's every June to bring out people of all the Caribbean region that have contributed to America. It's also of this year. So, folks, thank you for joining us, and we hope to be doing this again back on TV, and we look forward to continuing to build new relationships going forward.
All right. Good night to all our people on the Zoom. As part of the conversation, the viewers on YouTube, the viewers on Facebook, the viewers on Instagram. Thank you for joining. We'll keep you posted on the next one for Haiti. But the next one is Tuesday night. Good night, everybody. Pleasure meeting you.
Good night, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.